Do you want to sound more confident, more professional when you communicate in English? This video is just for you. Today, I'm going to tell you 7 professional phrases which will instantly make you sound smarter, fluent, and most importantly, professional. Whether it's in office meetings, presentations, interviews, anywhere. And by chance, if you're a student, don't worry because these phrases can be used anywhere to form networks and build relationships. Stay tuned till the end because I have a sweet challenge for you at the end of the video. Let's get started with phrase number 1, which is have a minute or when you have a minute. It's quite a polite and a wonderful expression which is majorly used when you want to take some help from others. Many times people say, do you have some time? Whenever you have some time, do this. But when you say this word, do you have time? It seems you are demanding something. But when you say, do you have a minute? Or whenever you have a minute, it's a polite and a professional way to ask, in case you have some time, please help me. It's way of asking favor. Let's suppose a colleague is sitting next to you and you see them busy, but you want to ask a quick question. So you say, do you have a minute to check in this? Or maybe you want to ask your manager and you see he's flooded with work. You can just say, whenever you have a minute, have a look at this project. Now, not just colleagues, not just manager, you can use this with friends as well. Have a minute, I want to have a quick chat with you. Or whenever you have a minute, just give me a call. Like this. Now, do you all have a minute to subscribe to our channel? More than 84% of people who watch our video lessons haven't subscribed yet. Come on, let's do that. The more you subscribe, the more you follow, it gives me motivation to bring some exciting content for all of you. Let's move on to phrase number 2, which is to keep someone in loop. Let's suppose I create a loop. That means everyone would be inside it. Everyone would be a part of it, including. So whenever you want to keep people included in something, or it's actually a phrase which is used to update people about what's happening currently, about the current situation, making them aware of what's happening. To give you a better idea, let's suppose there was a meeting in my office and I couldn't join. But I want to know what happened in the meeting. So I can say, can you please keep me in loop as I missed the meeting yesterday? Or it can be used from a different lens as well. For example, boss wants you to keep her in the loop. That means she wasn't a part of the meeting, but now she has to be a part. Let's suppose a lot of your friends are deciding, oh, we'll go to this place or we'll explore this place, and you want to do that. So you just call them up and say, hey, don't forget to keep me in the loop. Means don't forget to make me aware about it or don't forget to update me timely. So for a quick update or if you want to be included in it, you can use the phrase which is to keep someone in loop. Now, to keep all my language learners in loop, we have created a WhatsApp community. Link to the WhatsApp community is in the description. It's a community of language learners like you where I try to upload many videos, quick lessons so that you learn English in the snippets. Along with that, whatsoever phrases we are going to discuss today, I'll pin it up in the chat box. Don't forget to check the WhatsApp communities so that you can attempt the quiz there and see how you stand. Let's move on to now phrase number 3, which is pick your brain. I know it sounds little weird. Pick somebody's brain. Okay, answer me this first and then I'll explain you this phrase. Would you rather pick brain of someone who's normal, ordinary, or would you pick brain of somebody who's super intelligent? I'm sure you would choose the option second because you would like to pick brain of somebody who's smart, who's intelligent. That's exactly this phrase means. Let's suppose I am not that aware of something, but my friend is. So I would like to pick the brain of my friend. So to pick brain of somebody is to take their idea, to take their feedback or their inputs on anything that you do. For example, your friend has some knowledge into social media marketing, but you never tried, but you have to. You want to start your own channel, maybe. So you can say, Karan, may I pick your brain on social media marketing because you have done this previously? You feel that this person has more knowledge and more, I would say, experience than you. So then you can say, pick your brain. The same way as I used with a friend, you can use with your colleagues, in your meetings, anywhere. For example, you have an idea, but you want people to share their opinions too. So you can say, well, I do have some ideas, but I would like to pick your brain on this. This way you can use it. Well, you've just learned 3 phrases. If you've listened to me so far, then I would like to tell you that this video is presented to you by English Yari. If you don't know about English Yari is an online English platform where people like you who struggle to express themselves clearly, words do not come at the right time to them, they feel underconfident, struggle to express themselves in meetings, office presentations, anywhere, or even their students, whosoever you are, if your aim is to improve your English Yari provides you a platform where you can get connected with expert and certified tutors. When I say expert and certified tutors, they teach you in live one-on-one session, means one learner, one tutor. It's your private session. You have a discussion on different topics. Your teacher gives you feedback, and this way you improve instantly and see the results. To learn any language, you have to speak. So, this platform has helped more than 15,000 working professionals, students, homemaker kids improve their English. Now, if you also feel that your English needs improvement, don't forget to check out English Yari app. Let's move on to phrase number 4, which is circle back. Let's suppose I am at this position currently and I try to form a circle. So I'll just form a circle, and now where am I? I'm exactly at the same position from where I started creating a circle. So circle back means coming back. Coming back to what? Coming back to something that you've done previously or you've discussed previously. To give you an example, let's suppose you have a colleague. Let's name this colleague Ria. Now, you gave a task to Ria last month and you want to check if she has done it now or not. So you can say, Ria, when can we circle back on the project I gave you last month? So it's a professional way of asking somebody or checking with them if they have done this or not. This can be used in various formats. You are, imagine, in a meeting and people are having a discussion. Sometimes our meetings go offhand. You come to have a discussion on, let's suppose, point A, but people start having a discussion on point B. You're like, hey, I didn't come for this thing actually. So you can say, let's circle back on this later, but come on this first. Where you're telling people that, hey, whatsoever questions you are raising about point B is valid, but let's take this later and focus on what we are here for. So circle back means you'll come on this later, or maybe to check the update, to keep people updated. You can just use this circle back. It's quite a, I would say, corporate phrase that people use these days. Moving ahead with phrase number 5, which is hop on the call. To tell you about this phrase, let me help you imagine or create this scenario in your brain. Have you seen frog? Frog always hop from one place to the other. Now, because frog hops, it's always unplanned and it's quite quick. Same happens in our lives. Some things are planned and some things are not planned. Let's suppose office meetings. Many times meetings are planned. Tomorrow we are going to meet at 5 p.m. or day after tomorrow we'll meet at this time. But sometimes something urgent happens or you want to get on a call. So to get on a call quickly, that's when you use hop on a call. To give you a reference to this, feel as if you have a report, you made a report for your client. The moment you're going to submit it to the client, your client give you full-fledged response, email, a very lengthy email. You look at that and you're like, oh God. Now the second option is your client has given you the full email. You write even lengthy email and share it up, which is not going to help. But here, instead of writing an email, you can just say, can we hop on a call to discuss the pointers you have mentioned above? Which means instead of having email things, let's get on a call and complete this. So hop on a call means to get on a quick call, which was unplanned. It can be used in other things as well. Your manager gave you the whole list of tasks that you have to do by the end of the day, but you feel there are some things that you're not able to get idea clearly of. So you can say, when can we hop on a call to discuss the things you have shared with me? Or you have a discussion, or you have a birthday party and you want to invite your friends, but it's quite an unplanned birthday party and on a short notice you want to call them. So you can say, hey, let me hop on a call and tell you what I am planning this month or what I'm planning this year. Here comes the sixth phrase, which is bounce ideas off. We all have a lot of ideas, especially a person like me. I have so many ideas in my mind, be it anywhere. Let's suppose I am at a party and I'm having a conversation with my friends. I have many ideas. Okay, we can do this next time. Or if I am at a workplace, or even if when I think about creating content for all of you, have so many ideas. Now, every time I can't say I have my ideas or these are my ideas. So, in professional settings, or to sound more formal, people use this phrase called bounce ideas off. Feel as if your ideas are like ball. You're throwing the balls, you're bouncing the balls, and people are bouncing it at you, which means you're sharing your ideas and you want people to share their feedback on it or their input on it. Some sample examples are you are in meeting and you say, hi everybody, I have few ideas to bounce off you and let's see how can we take this further. Or to your friends, you can say, let me bounce off some ideas and tell you that we should move to this place or we should go to this place this time. Anywhere you can use it. Bounce idea off means you are sharing your opinion, you are bringing things on the table and you're asking people to share their opinion too. It's one of the best phrases that you can use, especially in your discussions, to tell people that you hold opinions or you hold a different perspective about living too, or you have amazing ideas as well. Here comes the last phrase, which is phrase number 7. Yeah, 7. Okay. Wow, we've discussed 6 already. I'm sure you don't feel burden. It's very easy to remember. The 7th phrase of the day is lost in the weed. Before I tell you the meaning of the phrase, let me tell you what does this word lost in the weed means. Weed means something unwanted. Mm, what idea should I give you? Every time I make a video, I have to think so many things which can make learning easy for you. Okay, take it this way. Feel as if I have a field, okay, and I have sown some tomato seeds in that. I want tomato plants to rise above. Now, while my tomato plants are growing, I see other plants growing simultaneously too. It happens in field, you grow some plants, but there's some unwanted plant, maybe grass or some bushes would grow instantly. Now, these grass or bushes are not that essential. So, for that, we use unwanted, means this is not important. We call them weed. So, when I say lost in the weed, means you get lost into something which is least important, not that important at all. It happens in our daily life. Many times you sit for a conversation with others. You want to focus on the bigger picture, but people are thinking or having a discussion on minute things. So, you can just say, let's not get lost in the weeds. Focus on what we are here for. Maybe your friends are planning for a trip and one of your friends say, oh, how would we go there? Then you can say, let's not get lost in the weeds. Let's focus on the destination where we are going first and then we'll decide how we are going there. Isn't that? Even in your office meeting, sometimes you're having a meeting and meeting goes offhand. You came here for discussing something, your colleagues are discussing something else. One phrase is, let's circle back on this later. The second phrase is, let's not get lost in the weeds. We are here to discuss the project which has a deadline tomorrow. So we are in do and die situation. This brings us to the end of this video. If you have listened to me so far, I'm sure that you're really serious about your English. Whatsoever phrases we have discussed, all 7 are, oh my god, all 7 I'm listing in our WhatsApp community. Don't forget to check and attempt the quiz. Write down the comments in case you have any doubts. I thoroughly go through every comment that you put down there. Thank you so much for the love you've given to me in the last video. This has motivated me even more to bring content, and I hope you receive this video in a full swing mode too. Don't forget to check out English Yari app, an app which is made for learners like you. We want all of you to be fluent, and all our expert tutors are handpicked, so you will be in a perfect space to practice, execute things practically. Happy learning.